your coach and the pioneer of Vision Total Football Kenya. I hope you are keeping well, and I am well too. Today, there are two issues that I want us to revisit, and we are also going to talk about one more issue. So I want us to revisit the issue of the Kenyan Premier League sponsorship deal, and I want us to revisit the issue of Division 1 sponsorship deal by BetKing. And then the new issue that I want us to talk about is FKF elections, the grassroots elections that were done just a few days ago, and the coming national election where the president of FKF is going to be elected. So issue number one, let us talk about the Division 1 sponsorship deal by BetKing. What I want to say is this: things were happening so fast this year, and especially in July this year, that there are some issues that we did not discuss about, in our channel. So one of these issues is the Division 1 sponsorship deal that was announced in July this year by FKF president. Now, this deal was for 100 million Kenya shilling for 5 years, yeah, and then that translates to 20 million Kenya shillings per year for all the clubs involved. And then if you divide that money by 20 clubs, then you have 500,000 Kenya shilling per year for one club. If you divide by 1 month, it is 41,000 Kenya shilling for one club per month. Now my question is this money is too little. 41,000 Kenya shilling for a club in Division 1 that has at least 25 players signed. The club has coaches, the club has at least secretary, and so on and so on. If you are to use this 41,000 Kenya shilling, which is the entitlement for 1 year, if you just use that for 1 month and pay 25 players for 1,000 Kenya shilling each, there will only be left 6,000, yeah, in that 1 month. Now, if you can pay the secretary or the coach, yeah, the money is finished. Therefore, this money, 100 million for 5 years for all the clubs, which is 20 million Kenya shillings per year for all the clubs, translate to 41,000 Kenya shilling per month, yeah, and that is not enough to do anything at all in the Division 1 league. Therefore, for me, the question, we must not be told that at least this is the first ever sponsorship deal. This is not good enough. What it is here is that our football has no value. Therefore, when the clubs get something, they say at least this is the first ever sponsorship deal. So what? 5 years is a very, very long time, and you are told 100 million. Count 1 year, 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, up to 5th year. You will never see anything from this deal except 100 million Kenya shilling for all the clubs involved. This for me is an abuse to the clubs, is an abuse to Kenyan football, is an abuse to players, is an abuse to coaches in Division 1 clubs. Yeah, and I'm saying, really, if you are a parent, mzazi yani, and you do not feed your child for a whole year, and then you give your child a meal during Christmas, and then you start being questioned by the authorities, why does your child only get meal at Christmas? You cannot go on and say at least it is his first meal. No, the question must be asked, why was he not eating, yeah, before Christmas, and so on. Therefore, for fools, kwa wajinga, they will settle with that idea that at least it is the first sponsorship deal. But for people who are sober, for people who have mind, for people who understand what should be the value of our Kenyan football, will not settle for this answer that at least it is a first deal. This is an abuse to our Kenyan football. This is a demonstration of a failed football leadership in Kenya and a failed football economy. 41,000 Kenya shilling per month for a club in Division 1 is an abuse. Now, the other issue that I want us to revisit is the issue of FKF taking over Kenyan Premier League. I'm not going to talk too much about the sponsorship deal. I've already addressed that issue. But the takeover has so many consequences to the Kenyan Premier League, because Kenyan Premier League has been struggling financially. But I can promise you, Kenya Premier League does not have big scandals like FKF. Therefore, right now, Kenyan Premier League has been taken over by FKF. That means that all the scandals that belong to FKF will also now relate to the Kenyan Premier League. When sponsorship come to look the history of FKF, the history of the Kenyan Premier League, and to decide whether they want to sponsor Kenyan Premier League or not. Kenyan Premier League being inside FKF is the worst mistake that can happen in Kenyan football. And anything that happens to FKF will affect the Kenyan Premier League. If today FKF was disbanded, Kenyan Premier League will be affected. If today FKF, had a new scandal, despite all the thousands of scandals that FKF has, it would affect the Kenyan Premier League. And let FKF not lie to Kenyans and say that, oh, we are going to let the league and the clubs run, run their own, run the league, the day-to-day running of the league. We are not interested in that. That's what I saw FKF saying. But they are fooling Kenyans. Kenya hakuna wajinga. Let us tell them that they cannot talk this language to people like us, that we are not interested in the day-to-day running of the league, because that is a task, that is a job, that they don't want to get involved. So why are they taking the league? It is because of sponsorship deal. It is because of the money opportunities that is in the Premier League. That's why they are renaming the Premier League and bringing it under FKF. This is all about money focused, money orientated, and personal interest. It has nothing to do with the Premier League doing well. It has nothing to do with the Kenyan football. And this idea must be challenged. If the Kenyan Premier League is tired of challenging this idea, one day it will be challenged, because we cannot go on as a country having Kenyan Premier League under the umbrella of FKF. This cannot happen for long. And I'm saying, if the Kenyan Premier League cannot find a way to challenge this, because whenever I see Kenyan Premier League challenging FKF, I only see the CEO, Jack Agunda, talking about it like he is the chairman or the deputy chairman of the Premier League. Jack Agunda is a CEO. A CEO is just an employee to run day-to-day activities of the Kenyan Premier League. So where are the clubs when it comes to this? Where is the chairman? Where is the deputy chairman of the Kenyan Premier League? They are the one who should be challenging FKF head-on, day and night, bare knuckles, day and night, so that FKF can respect Kenyan Premier League, and Kenyan Premier League can stand for itself and claim its space in Kenyan football. Right now, FKF has taken the Kenyan Premier League, and FKF has used a very little amount of money and a simple idea of divide and rule to take the Kenyan Premier League clubs to the thorny bed of FKF, because the 20 million that the clubs were given in July, that enticed them. That hooked them in. Walitegwa kama samaki for 20 million. And they were given, I think, 500k per club. And they were told, if you sign the contract, give us bank account, and we will wire the 500k to your clubs. The clubs were told this, and some accepted, some did not accept. But the point is this: the Kenyan Premier League clubs are not united. They get divided by a very simple amount of money. And that's why FKF has learned and has mastered the way to manipulate Kenyan Premier League. As long as few clubs are involved, they will be manipulated. The others will go away crying and mumbling. The unity of the Kenyan Premier League is so important, but it has not been captured, that unit. It needs a different football system to capture the unity of the Kenyan Premier League, to tell them that you must work together, you must survive together, you need each other, you must die together and get rich together if you are to get rich. This is the way to go for KPL. But the way they are divided, the clubs, especially because also the chairman owns a club. So this causes a lot of problem in our Kenyan Premier League. And I keep saying that the only way forward for our football in Kenya, wallahi, it is a holistic approach where a revolution will change everything. We cannot continue with this path that we are on now. Now, the FKF cannot even get a sponsorship deal for Harambee Stars, and yet it is telling us it is taking over Kenyan Premier League because it only wishes best for Kenyan football. It wants to improve Kenyan football. Wasitudanganye. Wajinga wameisha Kenya, and for that reason you should know Europe ndio hakuna wajinga kabisa. For the last century hakuna wajinga. You cannot fool anyone here in Europe, me included. So this language of FKF ya kurusha mkate, divide and rule to FKF, it goes down to the rest of the leagues. It has forgotten its primary objective as a football governing body in the country. That's why everything in matters football is collapsing. So for me, I wanted us to revisit these two issues, the Division 1 sponsorship deal, so we can talk about it, what we have just talked about it, and then to quickly revisit the sponsorship deal by BetKing and the takeover of the KPL by FKF. Now, while we are here, I want to say this. If any club in Division 1 has received money from BetKing, please let us know. Because announcement in Kenya, money announcement is very different from actually getting the money. So if any club in Division 1 has received the money that was promised by BetKing through FKF, let us know. Go down to the comment section and make a comment. Now, the Kenyan Premier League clubs that were given 500,000 in July so that they can sign the contract, the takeover contract. Also, if they have received any other money apart from the 500,000 Kenya shilling, let us know. Because as far as we know, the BetKing through FKF promised to wire 75 million Kenya shilling 1 month before the commencement of the season. This is now, we are only 5 days today. We are 5 days away to enter October, and the season will begin. Has the league received the 75 million that was promised? And this also gets me to question that, what I heard, that the money, the 20 million that was given to this, to these clubs in July was part of the CAF COVID money. It was not from BetKing. This is rumors, and I'm getting now to start believing in these rumors that this money was not from BetKing. FKF just took the COVID money, gave to the clubs so they can sign the contract. Going forward, we have a lot to see, and I want to tell Kenyans, those who are celebrating that KPL is about to make it big by signing this deal, BetKing deal, and by being taken over by FKF, please stop celebrating. Pack your celebration cloth and go and buy a funeral cloth. I'm telling you, very soon KPL will die and Kenyan football will continue to die. So bin your celebration garment, go and buy a funeral garment. Remember, there is nothing that I have said in regard to Kenyan football that does not happen. Please listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Now, our last issue that I want us to discuss is about the FKF elections. Yeah, we know just a few days ago the county elections were done, but I'm receiving messages from clubs telling me that they were never involved. In other areas, FKF handpicked candidate and elections never happened. We have clubs that are already complaining about this FKF process. There's a club in Nyatiki sub-county that is saying that their chairman was handpicked and they are tired of this. There's another club called Migingo FC. It is complaining the same. There's another club called Cafe Bay FC. They are also saying that they never did any election process. They have been having FKF officials who are just handpicked by the federation, and they are tired of this. They are tired of FKF election. So these are grassroots clubs complaining. And you know, in October 17, we are going to have the national elections where the NEC member and the president of FKF is going to be elected. As far as we know today, in the possession of the president, the aspirant who have handed in their nomination paper, these are the project of the current football president in the name of Nick Mwendwa. These are project candidates, and I'm telling you, they'll go to the election knowing that they're just escorting Nick Mwendwa so that FIFA can see election has taken place. They are, all of them, a project candidate. We know it. We don't need to discuss it. Now, the 10 candidates that refused to give their nomination papers to the FKF electoral board, I know now they are silent for a reason, and I know after the election is concluded, they are going to do something, and they are going to head to court, or they are going to head to Ohagas again to Haga complaining about the election process and why they were not involved. And rightly so for them. I'm not criticizing them, and I keep saying we as Vision Total Football Kenya Group, we are not interested in FKF elections. But if we can share information, what is happening at the grassroots or at the national level, why not? But as far as we are concerned, revolution is the only path. And the takeover of the Kenyan Premier League is a sad story for now and forever. Our Kenyan Premier League is heading to a massive death. Wakenya wenzangu, let us continue to share the hope, the message of hope, Vision Total Football Kenya message. And as we go forward, Kenyan people must together disband FKF. With FKF on the way, with FKF managing and governing football in Kenya, nothing will ever grow in Kenyan football. You can already see now FKF is just heading to where money can be made. They have forgotten their primary objective. I leave you in peace. I'm gone. One more thing I want to comment here. I went to my visit to Norwich City FC was great. And I'm telling you, Kenyan clubs, when I talk, I know what I'm talking about. For those who have seen pictures on the Facebook, Norwich City FC, as you know, this club has a shop, has a massive shop, the size of Nairobi Sports Shop, in the town of Norwich, a massive town called Norwich, which is 2 hours away from London. They have a shop there in the town. And then in the club itself, they also have another shop. So these kind of shops that are selling all the merchandise from the club. Can you imagine our clubs getting to that level? Gor Mahia, AFC Leopard, and so on and so on. If you look like in England, every club, even the semi-professional clubs, they have a shop. So we need to aspire more. We need to see bigger pictures. And this is not a dream. This is not a pipe dream. It is doable. It is simple. We just need to sort our football system so we can start having football in the country that worth its name. And then the sponsorship will start coming in. The sponsors will start kicking in. But this idea where FKF think can put everything in FKF basket and manage everything, this is a no-no idea for Kenyan football. I live in peace. I'm gone.